Very good afternoon to all of you. We are here for a session on angel investment and venture capital funding opportunity for early stage entrepreneurs on behalf of Institutions Innovation Council of JIMS Vasant Kunj. The Institutions Innovation Council in JIMS Vasant Kunj was established on 21st November 2018 after the inception of IICs by the Innovation Cell Ministry of MIC. It is established to engage a large number of faculty, students, and staff in various innovation and entrepreneurship related activities such as hackathons, leadership talks, ideation, workshops, seminars, IPR, entrepreneurship, and other competitive events to enhance the innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem in the institute. To speak upon the topic today, we have with us Aman Rishu. Aman Rishu is a skill-driven and motivated entrepreneur with a proven track record of success and extraordinary, um, commitment towards building an organization from a very simple idea to leading in the industry. He is a proud JIMS alumnus, and he has made our our institute more proud by finding his own startup, which is BallotNow. So he is the founder and CEO of BallotNow Private Limited, and he has been associated with this organization since 2018. And we hope that he grows with this organization, and with his experience he can pull more students towards entrepreneurship. So we welcome you, Aman, for this session, and we request you to you know start the session.
Hello.
Yes, Aman, we can hear you.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful introduction. Let me start the session. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, I can definitely hear you. Students, you can reply on the chat whether you can hear Aman or not.
I'm unable to.
Yes, they can hear you. They can hear.
I'm unable to share my screen or start my video.
I have given this screen sharing rights.
Perfect. Okay.
Yes, we can hear this.
Perfect. Hi guys, I hope you all are doing good. So first of all, thank you for this wonderful introduction, ma'am. Before starting this session, a brief introduction about what I do. I've been practicing entrepreneurship for last somewhat around 4 to 5 years. I started when I was in JIMS Vasant Kunj, obviously, within the same college which you guys are all in. So I guess the majority of the students here are from second and third year, right? Am I correct, ma'am?
Yes, yes. These are first year students of BCA and BBA that we have in the session today.
Perfect, perfect.
Because second and third year students are doing their internship, and third year students, obviously, they are also doing their projects, so they are not available for the session.
Perfect, not a problem. So first year, it's good that they are starting on, and this is the right time to start for an entrepreneurship career. So there are some leverages starting early. so that you have your time, you can work on your startup idea. Even if it fails, you have your future to secure on. So my company started BallotNow. We are building world's next generation voting system. So voting system is something that sounds very different from the area which we are into. So we are building world's first intelligent voting system that allows people to make data-driven decisions and vote according to the data points for the whether it's political or university election or any kind of election. We have had partnership with few universities like Delhi University Student Union elections, in government elections as like Bihar Assembly election, UP West Uttar Pradesh Assembly election, Punjab Assembly election, and few of the NGOs like Rotary International. That Rotary International is very popular among our college. So we had a pleasure working with them also. Anyway, apart from that, there's a question for all of you. So you can write it in chat box. How many of you have dreamed to be an entrepreneur? If ma'am, you can share the rights with to unmute students, that will be more engaging conversation if it's possible.
I think that he has trained for this. Aditya Jyoti Mitra.
I cannot see any messages actually.
Let me see if I can do that for you.
Neither I'm able to share my.
For that, you will have to be made host. So can I make you host for a while, but then you will have to manage the whole thing. It will become difficult for you, Aman. You will not be able to concentrate on the session. Let me see.
However you feel comfortable, we can proceed anyway. So let's proceed with the same.
So few students have said yes, that they are undergoing, they have undergone some training for entrepreneurship.
Okay, perfect. Undergone to trainings of entrepreneurship. That sounds interesting. So do you know about, can anyone tell you a difference in between failed entrepreneur and a successful entrepreneur?
You can raise your hand. If you raise your hand, I can
actually,
as well.
If okay, there's no.
I have given everybody the right to unmute. You can unmute yourself and reply. Aman, can you please come again with the question?
Yeah. So my question was, what is the difference between successful entrepreneur and a failed entrepreneur? Okay. So I guess there's no one with the answer. I'll give you myself. So the experience, I'll share the experience with you, not the theoretical knowledge that you all have read in books and entrepreneurship classes. Actually, I was very bad at theoretical knowledge. So I'll just speak about the experience which I had in my personal life. So there is no such difference in between failed entrepreneur or a successful entrepreneur. If you look at the definition of entrepreneur, it means someone who can take risk and deliver something extraordinary. So anyone who has tried to do it, they have taken the risk. And anyone who has failed in the process to do so, they have learned something in their own way. So there is no chance of being a failed entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you are always successful in one way or another way. So that was the definition of entrepreneur. I'll quickly go through the topics which we are going to cover in this session. So in this session, we'll be covering a brief description about startup, stages of startups versus small business, early stage business valuation, investment rounds.
Aman, have you changed the slide?
No, I haven't changed this slide.
Okay.
So investment rounds, angel versus VC versus private equity, why angels, VCs say no to startups, right time to pitch an investor, how to pitch right, how to think like an investor. So we'll keep the session engaging. I'll request all of you to answer questions in between. You are only supposed to, it's not something that is compulsory. So that all of you can get everything which I have to deliver today. I hope this session wasn't complimentary and all of you are here on your will, not only because of attendance, if there is any attendance for this session. Anyway, so what is startup? Anyone from the audience section can tell me what is startup? We have gone through the definition of entrepreneurship. The startup has the kind of same line of definition. Okay, so we'll do one thing. We'll only wait for 30 seconds. In that, if you can answer, that is fine. Otherwise, we'll move forward. Okay. So what is startup? Startup is a young company founded by one or more entrepreneurs to develop a unique product or service to solve a problem. So nowadays, startup has a very different definition in these days. People, whoever starting their business, are calling it as a startup. But the real definition when startup started was a person who has taken risk and developed a certain unique product or service, which is solving a problem of mass, was called startup back in then. Examples in Indian, I'll be taking Indian startups example: Oyo, Ola, Zerodha, Cred. So anyone can tell me the concept, problem, what they are solving, and are they profitable or not? These three things, anyone can give a quick idea about from any of these startup sector? Okay. Seems like no one is interested. I'll move forward. So let's start with Oyo. So Oyo was created to provide hotel rooms at low cost to give better service. What was the problem that Oyo was solving? Hotel sector was costly at that point of time, with no customer satisfaction for low budget hotels. So the hotel sector was always, hospitality sector was always good for people who had bigger budget, bigger pockets. But the people like middle class people who used to travel and who wanted to have a decent hotel within their budget. So there was no better facility available at that point of time. And Ritesh Agarwal, being a traveler, he saw himself, he faced the same problem when he moved from Odisha to Delhi, and then he roamed around the North Indian parts. He found that problem, that gap was very big. So he started working on that particular problem, and Oyo became the first player in the market in hospitality sector, which was able to provide optimum service within people's budget, within our budget. So that's why over the time it grew profitable and became a unicorn. Ola. So Ola worked on similar concept as Uber. In US, Uber had this concept up and running, but Indian market was very decentralized. So for an Indian company, which was better for an Indian company to start. That's how Ola came into the play. So Ola started to provide taxi in seconds at fixed rate. Like every second, whenever you want a taxi, they will provide you at your doorstep with a fixed rate. At that point of time, the bargaining was way too much, that you have to do the bargaining part. And that was very annoying. And you have to wait for a very long time to get a taxi. The problem was no availability of taxi, high charges when in busy traffic, hard to find taxi. Again, Ola was first player in the market and they became profitable, they became unicorn. Now, so last two are my favorite startups. One of them is Zerodha and the other one is Cred. Zerodha provides a platform for small investors. Zerodha provides a platform for small investors with little to no brokerage. So what was the problem? Actually, before Zerodha, the stock market segment was already occupied with big players like ICICI, like Sher Khan. Axis Bank had their own demat accounts and everything. So there were so many players who were way too rich so that anyone, I guess the better example for, I'm not sure exactly, but I think the better example for Zerodha could be that Zerodha wanted to enter a market segment that had an oligopoly market. That was an oligopoly market. So because of the big players, because of way too much money, they had to they had to be very clear about what they wanted to deliver to their customers. They focused on one problem, that was small investors. So in India, you'll see that the majority of investors are small investors. And they, at that point of time, they had to pay way too much brokerage fee than their income itself on stocks. So that is why most of people were like, will not investing in stocks because the brokerage is way too much. Then what we earn is half of what we give on brokerage. So Zerodha tried to solve this problem. Nitin Kamath, they both brothers, they started this firm. It was a very competitive market, but good idea and plan to disrupt the market. They had a good idea and plan to disrupt the market. They became profitable within very limited time frame and they became unicorn. And Zerodha is the first company from India who became profitable and who run on the journey of becoming a unicorn via being bootstrapped without any external investors' money. So anyone when they says you do that to start an startup, you have to have investors' money. That is not true. That is not true. And Zerodha has proved that. So coming to Cred. What is Cred? What was the problem that Cred was trying to solve at that point of time? Anyone from the audience sector?
Please unmute yourself and reply.
So Cred's concept, there was no problem that Cred was solving. The industry was again very much already developed. People, the credit card companies were already working their best to give services to their customers. But what Cred did, they incentivize their users. Like they focus only on ultra premium rich segment of Indian salaried people to give rewards who pay their bills on time. That was their concept. They wanted to give reward to people who pay their bills on time. So actually, Cred has no market at that point of time. There was no problem. They had no market competitors. Nowadays, there are few companies that are emerging over the time, but there is still no market for Cred. They are still not profitable, but they had huge market. Actually, Cred is a company that is in loss and will be in loss till 2024. 2024, they will be in loss, but they are unicorn. So to be unicorn, you don't have to be profitable. You just have to have engagement, traction. So moving forward,
Aman, I would like to comment here that within, I think, next 1 minute, our meeting will stop because Zoom has again gone to the 40-minute window. So we have to re-log in again. Okay, so I think I should stop the recording here and we can re-log in again.
perfect.
Okay.
Okay.